Hello, I'm David Greig. I'm the Artistic Director of the Lyceum Theatre here in Edinburgh. My first season of shows is on sale, and so I wanted to bring you down here to the workshops, the creative powerhouse where we make all our productions, to show you a little bit of what we've got in store. The first show of the season is The Suppliant Women. It's one of the first Greek plays, but this 2,500-year-old classic about refugee women risking everything to seek sanctuary speaks powerfully to the world today. It's a story full of music, rhythm, politics and passion. And I'm thrilled we have a community chorus of young women from Edinburgh to perform the title role. I'm translating a new version of this classic, and we're going to co-produce it with the Actors Touring Company.
In October, our prop makers will be busy making vats of fake stage wine for Jumpy, because the central character, Hilary, finds herself taking her first glass earlier and earlier each evening. We're going to be bringing a distinctly Scottish twist to April D'Angelis' hit West End comedy, with the mighty Pauline Knowles in the central role and the wonderful Cora Bissett directing. Cheers.
I love Lyceum Christmas shows. My parents took me every year when I was a kid, and we took our kids when they were growing up. The Lyceum at Christmas is like a magic portal. Step through and you enter a world of colour, music and classic stories well told. And this year we're upholding that tradition with Alice's Adventures in Wonderland, a journey through the looking glass into comedy and delight. What could be better for Christmas than a classic Victorian story in a classic Victorian theatre? You could almost imagine this place was haunted. After the success of The Weir, it feels right to have a ghost story for New Year, this time from the heat and dust of outback Australia. Picnic at Hanging Rock is the story of an ill-fated schoolgirl trip to an Aboriginal sacred site. It was first a classic novel, then a brilliant film, and now it's an acclaimed play, brought to us by the Malthouse Theatre of Melbourne and the Black Swan State Theatre of Perth. And it's set to bring us all some thrills and chills in the depths of January. It's been a while since we've produced any Shakespeare at the Lyceum, so it seems timely to revisit his work, and Winter's Tale is my favourite. It's a story full of comedy, darkness, and ultimately magical redemption. Director Max Webster promises to bring a particularly Scottish musical flavour to proceedings, so expect something truly transformative on stage in February. Of course, it contains the stage direction "Exit Pursued by a Bear," but we're not going to do that. That would be ridiculous. In March, we present Hay Fever. I love Noel Coward. No other writer has such wit and insight into human relationships. Because he's a writer of comedy, he's sometimes underestimated, but his plays contain sharp shards of truth that really sting. We already know that Dominic Hill of the Citizens Theatre is one of Scotland's most accomplished directors, so his passion for the project means he's bound to bring a fascinating new perspective to this Lyceum favourite. In April, the construction team will be able to take a break, because as part of the International Science Festival, we're bringing the safety curtain down and creating an on-stage studio space, a petri dish for Carol Churchill's play about genetics and identity, A Number. Like all of her plays, it's thought-provoking and concise, but what struck me when I saw it first was how emotional it was. It's a play about science, but it's also a play about fathers and sons. The first time I read Douglas Maxwell's new play, Charlie Sonata, I was on a plane. The story of hopeless, charming, drink-sodden Charlie had me hooked from the start, and when at the end I found myself in tears, grabbing the knee of the passenger next to me, I realised I had to bring this story to the stage. It's directed by Matt Lenton, the great stylist of Scottish theatre, and he shares my passion for the play's heart and soul. So make sure when you see it, you're sitting next to someone whose knee you feel comfortable grabbing. Like everyone in Edinburgh, I grew up in the shadow of John Knox and Mary Queen of Scots. They haunt the landmarks of the old town from Holyrood to St Giles. So when Linda McLean came to me with the idea of Glory on Earth, I was immediately grabbed. It's the story of the young, inexperienced queen pitted against the revolutionary radical Knox in a country on the verge of seismic change. I'm going to direct it myself. I just couldn't resist it. All these shows are on sale now, and I hope there's something there for everyone, including a new strand of variety nights and even an appearance by Dario Fo. Why not buy a season ticket and then you can see more for less? And if you're interested in doing as well as viewing, then in June you can take part in the Hour We Knew Nothing of Each Other, an extraordinary participatory project bringing to life a city square. This will be a season of theatre made in Edinburgh, from our Roseburn workshops to our rehearsal room over the road, into this beautiful auditorium. I want everyone to experience the joy of live performance in this wonderful building. But I also want us to reach out beyond our home in Grindley Street. So watch this space for new partnerships, pop-up performances in different parts of the city, podcasts, international work. Theatre is the last place where we all gather for an unmediated collective experience. I want the Lyceum to be a place where conversation starts, with artists, with audience, and with the city itself. So join us and be part of the conversation.